Hey guys, I'm Andrea, and today we're going to be ranking 911 characters based on my correct opinions on them. So I had planned this video before the premiere of 5B, but I'm glad I'm recording after having watched that because my rankings have changed a little bit now for obvious reasons. To get going, I'm going to explain the tiers for you. So, bottom tier, worst of the worst, is titled because that's exactly the feeling of disdain I get every time these characters appear. Next is propaganda. Now, these characters are not necessarily all bad or evil. They're definitely some of my favorite characters, but that doesn't mean they aren't written as propaganda to convince viewers that certain abuses of power are acceptable or necessary or even heroic and badass. Remember what Garfield said, you are not immune to propaganda. Then we have batshit insane, but I laugh, which I specifically made for Maddie because I love her so much, but she has a lot of psychological issues. Right above that is a much more cheerful ranking called Have a Cupcake. This tier is for characters I appreciate, but also don't feel much of a reaction to other than like, oh hey, it's them. Yay. Then we have the Hannah special. Everybody makes mistakes. And this tier is for characters who have done things I don't agree with, but also not anything that is morally gray or deeply wrong. Like, they're not a danger to others. They just do stupid stuff that I dislike. Again, some of my favorite characters are in this rank because the show likes to keep the characters realistic and whatnot. And now the top tier is for the very best characters that are beloved and do no wrong. They are icons. They are the moment. This tier is aptly named Christopher tier. So, Athena, obviously she is a cop, but I'm going to say a redundant phrase here. Bear with me. I'm going to say that she is oftentimes a crooked cop. She takes her frustrations over her marital problems out on suspects and brutalizes them like she breaks protocol consistently, especially with the plotline in 5A. That was such an overwhelmingly insidious amount of pro-cop, forget your rights propaganda. I literally almost stopped watching the show over it. It was that bad. That being said, I do love Athena. I find her comforting, so to speak. I find her iconic and lovely. She kind of reminds me of this lady that personally I thought of as my grandmother, but then she voted for Trump and was really crazy pro-Trump. And now I don't speak to her anymore. And that's a woman that I loved in my real life. You think I'm going to put Athena somewhere else? No, she's going into propaganda. So Bobby, Eddie cussing this man out really made my life. In context, Eddie was out of line, but also somebody did need to knock Robert down a few notches because he loves to abuse his power, the nasty wench. I like Bobby a lot. I don't think he's one of my favorites, but he does make the show what it is. But he's unprofessional and keeps the workplace too personal and cannot keep a level head when it comes to his personal life in the workplace. He does not know how to separate the two, and he has violent tendencies, what I don't care for at all. Let a fireman try to fight me when I'm having an emergency? No. I pay you. No. Oh my God. Okay, anyways. Ugh. Him keeping Buck from coming back to work was a coward move on his part. And no, I'm not over it, even though it's been many seasons. He was petty. Kept him away from work for no good reason when that is his livelihood. You don't get to keep an employee away from work because you care about their safety on a personal level. The man needs to eat. That is so inappropriate. And then the autonomous zone, when he starts threatening to go at a protester with an axe, had pepper sprayed him because ain't no way. And what were the Caucasian writers thinking airing that on television, especially because it was directly about the 2020 Black Lives Matter protest? What is wrong with them? They thought they were slick with the propaganda. They thought the anti-Black Lives Matters messaging would go unchecked. Guess what? If you're anti-Black Lives Matters, you're racist, and I wish you the worst. So Bobby gets propaganda, but I like him anyways. Go to hell, Bobby.
Go to hell, Bobby.
Buck is probably my favorite character, but he is so stupid. So stupid. Full of bad ideas and decisions. Lights are on, but nobody's home. He's pushing 30, and he acts like a 15-year-old, and you could only hide behind, my parents didn't hold me, for so long. At a certain point, you got to pick yourself up and heal yourself and be better and do better, which he tried. So like, that's great. I love mental health. Like, I love trying to improve yourself. Good for you. But he is slipping up so bad, which is normal. That's human. Healing is not linear. I think dating Taylor was such a bad idea. Like, she's literally the worst. I cannot imagine even befriending or being polite to someone who tried to air out my loved one's dirty laundry on TV, or who talks to me the way she talks to him. No, I don't get it. Then kissing Lucy and being like, oh no, what am I gonna do? You're gonna break up with Taylor, you skid mark, and apologize to Lucy for putting her in a bad position, you literal toad. And then, less seriously, suing the department and not even taking the settlement? Oh, someone needs to put him down. Fumbled the bag and ruined his interpersonal relationships while he was at it. What an idiot. Anyway, he is literally my favorite character, and I want to study him like a grape. So he goes into Everybody Makes Mistakes. For reasons similar to Buck, Hen was going to go into Everybody Makes Mistakes, but she is so funny and so smart and so great and so responsible. She opens her home to others and takes care of people and knows her boundaries and doesn't let people get out of line with her or even around her. She's just like me for real. Except she's not, because she cheated on Karen and entertained Ava for way too long, even after putting all this stress on Karen. My friend Karen. She's so wrong for that. But other than that, she's an icon. She's the woman we all want to be, and I love her so, so much. Give her more storylines that aren't so sad. I'm not asking anymore. Oh yeah, so she goes into Christopher. Okay, so for Abby, first of all, sorry for bringing her up. Sorry, but I had to. Anyways, I was considering putting her into Everybody Makes Mistakes because she's not a horrible person just for ghosting Buck. But you know what? She was a creep. She was a predator. I don't care if Buck was like mid-20s. It doesn't matter. She saw a pretty face on the TV and saw that he was vulnerable at that moment, and she swept in. And that's creepy, dog. If their genders had been swapped, there would have been more of a general consensus that their relationship was sus. And her getting his number off the dispatch call logs like, hello, police? That's illegal and so creepy. What an invasion of privacy. So you know what? Maybe she'll even go into propaganda. No, she's going into All right, now probably my all-time fave, the king himself, Chimney. Let's think about it. He's funny. He's an iconic boyfriend. He got stabbed for his girl. He survived rebar through the head, made it through racist captains, a distant father, and losing his best friend. Just icon status through and through, my dude. But he is insane. Like, he is not mentally stable. This man is not okay, basically, ever. He is always at his rope's end, right about to snap. And he has snapped many times, but, like, I'm not judging him for it. That's my boy. So he goes into batshit. I don't really laugh, but, you know. Michael. Honestly, he was lovely, and I think he portrays real situations in a way that the other characters don't. Like, when he gets jealous of Bobby, that's so real. It is an ugly thing that happens in life, but it happens. Oh, well. And then becoming besties with Bobby's, that's dope too. I love that. But 8 out of 10 scenes with Michael were just heavy and stress and also not happy. So I did actually put him into just because it was rarely fun with him. It was mostly serious. But you know what? That reminds me. Another reason Athena goes into propaganda is because she smacked him for being gay. I'm going to punch her in the head. What the heck? Don't do that. Don't do that. Spousal abuse is not okay at any level, ever. No. Ugly. Carla Moore screen time when? I love this woman. I will say, and maybe some people won't like me pointing this out, but she is written into a racist trope. So I love her so much, but I wish there were more depth to her character than wise black woman who is sassy and helps non-black characters have more depth. Like, she's a plot device. She's a tool to move the story along. And I like her so much. I would appreciate her having more of her own storyline. I understand she's a side character, but we've had a lot of side characters have at least one episode revolve around them a bit. She's going into Christopher. May Gwirl. She is honestly, I love her. That's it. Loved her storyline in season 1 where she had an attempt I love the teen angst of dealing with your father coming out of the closet and being bullied, even though they live in LA. So I don't really get who was bullying her for having a gay dad. That's just kind of weird to me, but whatever. And her ACAB including my mama moment. I love this girl. She's so right. ACAB including Athena. She goes into Christopher as well. So I included Harry, even though he doesn't get much screen time, because he also had the ACAB moment, which was great. Sorry he had to go through police brutality and also a kidnapping. Get well soon, fictional character. But his ACAB moment was used for propaganda, which is some crap. How dare they? How dare they do that? They're like, we're going to put this little boy through a lot of stress, a lot of racism, a lot of attempts of murder, just so that we can justify police brutality. All right. No, don't do that. I'm going to put him into Have a Cupcake just because he doesn't have much screen time. Other than that, kid's a good actor, though. My friend Karen. Oh, yeah, she's going into Christopher tier. Woman in STEM, an actual rocket scientist, puts up with Hen when she's doing her tomfoolery, opens her house to everyone. Like, she adopted Ava's son and has raised him. That's her son. She's a good woman, a great person, and I love her so much. Stop putting her through it, writers. I'm not asking anymore. I am going to bring up Ava because she sucks so bad. What a loser. Leave Hen and Karen alone. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? Every time she's shown up, I literally out loud go, not this chick again. I've had enough of this guy. At least now I'm pretty sure she's gone for good. Did she die? No, wait, did she die? No, right? Well, she's dead to me. Ugh. My boy Edmundo Diaz. I mean, look at this shining example of perfect mental health and stability. What tier do you think he's going in? I laugh so much because of this man. The pettiness, sass, and snark. Like, I see so much of the worst in me in the worst of him. So, like, representation, woo! His get out of my house smile, hashtag relatable. His cruel words at loved ones, yeah! The self-sabotage, the putting everyone before himself. Girl, say no more. Here's my credit card. He goes into batshit, but I laugh. And I do laugh so much. Comedy king. Now, Maddie, the queen of batshit. She really popped out of nowhere after several years like nothing. She said, oh, I'm just in town. How you been, though? And then went through even more trauma than she had before. And that was already a lot of trauma. Strongest Woman Award. Now. But when she stalked that white woman, I cackled. It was absurd. I know it's like, oh, this show is poignant and serious, but like, I'm watching it to giggle, to chortle perhaps, and then running away because she fell asleep bathing her baby. La Llorona origins, you heard. She's so, and it was a thyroid condition making her depressed. I'm screaming. The writer said, no, we will not be keeping up with the realness of depression. We want a quick fix. She literally said, oh, so I'm just cured? And I said, oh, so she's just cured? I love it here. Batshit crazy. But I laugh. Obviously, Christopher goes to his namesake, icon, beacon of hope, and joy in a really gloomy at times show. He said, I'm gonna survive a tsunami and what? What? Like it's hard? He said, my mom is dead. Dang. Sorry, Chris. He said, oh, Dad, you're dating my teacher? She's teaching you quadratic equations? Absolutely not. I'm going to Bucks. Fight me. He said, Dad, if you die, I swear I will bring you back to life to end you myself. Stop scaring me and stressing me. Is it not enough that my mom died? And then said, dang, a kid can't have a little emotional vulnerability with his biological father without said father spiraling and quitting his job. Who calls the shots here, Papa? Put your foot down sometime. He said, this is my dad and his boyfriend, Buck, and Buck's girlfriend, Taylor. I love this kid. Really quickly, Josh can have a cupcake. He's funny and sad. I respect that. Shannon, girl. I want to put her into Everybody Makes Mistakes because she's not like a terrorist, but I did literally feel dread every time she was on screen. And as I said before, she was a deadbeat, and I believe all deadbeats should be in prison, and I'm anti-prison. So what does that tell you? She sucks so bad. She's a clown. She's a clown, and she's selfish, and is mid-30s acting like she's still 16 and pregnant. No, girl, your kid is... No, girl, your kid is growing up very quickly. You're either there or you're not. You either step up or get out. And she got out. Ugh. I'm going to bring up Lena, even though she's not even on the show anymore. I love Lena. I was confused when she was introduced because I was like, why is Ronda Rousey there? And I also thought she was going to be Eddie's next love interest. And I was like, bro, Shannon just died. What? But then she was a good friend to him, which, like, what? People of the opposite sex being friends with no tension in a TV show? That's revolutionary. That's revolutionary, bro. I love her, though. I love the moment where she's like, what's my cat's name? Yeah, I don't have a cat, bro. She's so funny. The drama factor she brought to the show, the angst, I love her. She really was just chilling and having Buck quake in his boots. I wish she had stayed on the show, even though I know that's unrealistic, but she was great. Also, I love Arm. She goes into Christopher. Albert Hahn. Pedo stash aside, he's a very solid character through and through. I do have a half-brother myself, so the interactions on Chimney's side are so relatable. I was sitting there rooting Chim on for his pettiness. It was good. I loved it. But Albert is so funny and iconic, and he's just a little guy, you know? But I'm a firm believer in the bro code, gender neutral. If your buddy who is letting you couch surf rent-free when your own blood turned you away, if that guy goes on a date and tells you it was awful, you do not start dating the person they went on a date with. Come on, bro. And then bringing her into that guy's home, how dare you? Why would you do that? That is so disrespectful.
So disrespectful!
So he goes into everybody makes mistakes. Anna. We'll go ahead and guess where Anna goes. First of all, Latina played by a non-Latina, so that doesn't tickle my pickle. Like, I get that it's a job and the actress is a woman of color herself, and like, so I'm gonna root for her. I'm glad she got work, but next time, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to remember we take roles from white people, not each other. But I'm sure there's been Latin actors who have taken black roles or even done blackface, so I'm not too mad at her. Anyway, onto the actual character. I misunderstood her situation the first watch through. I thought she was still working at Christopher's school because I watched this show with my family in the room, and let me tell you guys, they do not shut up ever. So I miss a lot of everything I'm ever listening to or watching. So I was watching the whole time like, is that not illegal? Or at least against school policy? Or at least frowned upon? Yeah, no wonder Chris is running away from you. How you gonna teach him addition, then turn around and teach his father PEMDAS? You nasty. But other than that, she was just so boring. That's her biggest downfall as a character for me. She was so boring. I was just not interested. And back to the Hispanic thing, her pronunciation of Spanish words was passable. Good for her. But sometimes it was so bad. How can you not say adios? And also, she pronounced El Mundo as edge. Listen to me, edge mundo in the breakup scene. I do love her in the breakup scene, though, because she throws Eddie's panic attacks in his face, and I love pettiness. I love shade. I love chaos. I love mess. But she goes into, ugh. Lou got what every cop deserves. T, not sorry. He wasn't that bad, but he was propaganda. He was telling Athena to break policy, and he was speaking in such a nasty way about committing acts of violence on someone. I don't care that he was a horrible criminal. You, as the authority, need to take the high road and be decent and abide by laws and a good moral code. Propaganda. Literally, the reason this show has been not fun to watch at times is Taylor. Like in the last few episodes, she's not that bad, but I hold grudges, so I don't care about that. It's time for her to get gone. It's been time for her to get gone. I hate so much that they brought her back after Dosed. I hate that she was in Dosed. Literally, I feel like this whenever she speaks. Let's discuss. First, she comes into a delicate workspace that is very important to people's safety and starts trying to record people in times of crisis. When they're scared, she wants to humiliate them for views. What a roach. She's a nosy little rat, and I can't stand her. She's mean to people, she's rude, she's snotty, and she has this pompous air to her. Girl, this is a Taylor hate segment. Let me go in. Then they're like, let's make her more likable. My dad maybe murdered my mom, and it was all over the news, and that felt horrible, so that's why I put other people's worst moments on the news. How does that make sense? You'd think she would study to become a lawyer, to, like, defend families in time like that, or a therapist for children that went through murder trauma, or something. Or you know what? Even a lawyer for, like, privacy, you know, being like, you can't use this person's clip on TV, blah, blah, blah. Think of the stress it would put on this child or whatever, right? To be the person that defends somebody like nobody defended her back then. But no, she decided to inflict her pain onto others. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for her? I don't. And then this is not a big deal, but I was raised with like absurd levels of respect for others and like manners to present in other people's presence. So the dinner scene where she's not eating the food Eddie made because she ate beforehand because Buck told her to, just in case it was nasty. No! That is so rude. How are you going to walk into someone's house and actually, I don't know how to say this in English, so if you don't speak Spanish, sorry. How are you going to walk into someone's house and menospreciar what they cooked? The effort and time it takes to make a dinner? Who raised you? Oh, right, not your dead mom and your maybe murderer dad. She goes into ugh. Ravi! Now, Ravi hasn't had much time on the show, and there's not much depth to his character, but I do like him. He's funny and awkward and a good sort of outsider perspective because he shows what it's like to be a normal person at the 118. Like, he's very much a firefighter as a job, not as a life. So, king of normal, I dig that. Away from the actual show, I love the layers the fans have given him. Like, you know what? He's queer. He has a boyfriend. He thinks Buck and Eddie are divorced. So funny. Also, meme king. Yeah. So, Fan and Ravi would go into Christopher, but Can and Ravi goes into Have a Cupcake. I'm not going to talk about the new white man Monday. I can't even remember his actual name. I'm not joking. But I am going to talk about Lucy Big Wrench Donato. I don't care. I love her. Obviously, we don't know much about her, but you know what? From what I've seen so far, she's a badass with a lot of charisma and swagger. She knows what she wants. She's direct. She's comfortable in herself. She's confident, and I love her. But also, there's not much to her yet. So she goes into Have a Cupcake. Also, I've had a crush on Miss Kibble since I was like 11 and saw John Tucker Must Die. So I'm going to probably ride for Lucy even if she pulls something. And that's our list, guys. I hope you like it. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree and give me your reasoning in the comments because I actually want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think. All right. See you later. Bye. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe.